I could twist my hips. I got told in high school my hips don't lie.
Problem is, it's like when it comes to you lifting me up, I God bless you.
There is no lifting happening. There is spinning, twirls, and hip sways. I am too old for this, and you're too old for this.
You'll get like a quarter spin, and I think we're both going down. You just lift up your shirt, and they see the 20 icy hots on your back.
Just duct tape.
Yeah, it's just like we prepared for this.
Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great, on her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. And I'm like, honey, it's V, it's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh, man, yeah, you just... Okay, you know the DMV sloth?
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy.
You're listening to On the Rewind.
Okay, and welcome back to On the Rewind. 101.3 FM, Amherst Island Radio, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. First off, I'd like to apologize for missing last week. Had some family stuff come up, but we are back and we are ready to roll. Just decided to hit record on a conversation we were having. I've been working mornings and need a little pick me up to get to the recording. And I chose Red Bull because it's small, it's easy to digest. And it gets the job done, but it always ends up making me feel like a dead husk to kind of, I don't know, like I'm fast, but I'm also tired. So yeah, I'm just like really speedily depressed. I don't know. It's just weird.
That's me at my job in a nutshell, fast but tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You just like... It's only if you actually stop to think of how you feel. Because if you're actually doing something, then you're like, oh wow, I actually have like a lot of energy to do this. But if you're actually just sitting there, you're just like, no, I still have the mental capacity of someone who's tired, but I'm like, I can't close my eyes. It's kind of, yeah. And then obviously the drop off, for me anyways, I don't know if it's the same for you, but with Red Bull, oh my goodness, the drop off, I almost...
And it doesn't take long.
No.
That's why they sell it in 4-packs.
Oh yeah. I made a mistake.
And you're only supposed to drink 2 a day.
That's fine. I'm on my second one. I mismanaged. I drank it like 2 hours before I had to leave, but then it was also a half-hour drive here. So I started feeling down. I was like, uh-oh. So yeah, I'm pounding back another one right now, just to get the energy levels a little bit higher than they were. But yeah, how was your week?
I want to touch back on some Red Bull stories here.
Oh yeah, I'm so totally down.
So first of all, watermelon's all right. Peach is pretty good.
See, I'm a classic man myself. I've tried some of them and just...
It tastes like Sour Monster.
Yeah. Oh, it really does. Yeah. It has an awful taste, but it's one that I'm like, I know if I just get through this, I'm going to be fine.
It's like chemicals.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're just
It's
tasting
like...
chemicals.
Oh, yeah. It works like chemicals and it, tastes like it too. It's like, I don't know, stay true to myself. I'm poisoning my body and it tastes like it.
Yep. So while at my job, I'm currently managing part of the project, and my higher up tells me anytime there's a change, and I'll get maybe 80, 3/4 of the way % through something, and then I'll get like, oh, we got a revision. You got to take it all out, and. Oh, so my response is, and then my coworker, God bless his soul, I'm not gonna name him, but he'll see me look defeated, and he just passes me a Red Bull. And I just the first one's like, yeah, why not? I need to pick me up to deal with this. Yeah. To where last week I bought 2 cases of Red Bull, thinking, oh, 1 a day.
Yeah,
this will last me a bit. And then we had so many changes the one day. I had already drinking through the one case and cracked open the second, and I'm not even 3/4 of the way through a 8-hour shift. just a ball of caffeine and stress.
Oh yeah.
And trying to get this job done so that it ships on time.
Well, also trying not to have a stroke or a heart attack. Holy crap.
Yeah, and so after I did that, I finished off the second case, not that day.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I need to take a break from caffeine for a little bit before I start giving myself heart palpitations.
I actually ended up doing that to myself one time. Cause those it was the only time I really ever drank Monster, but it was those iced tea ones. They're called Rehab something.
Yeah.
But they actually tasted like lemonade. They tasted like strawberry lemonade, and they are amazing. So I like drank like 2 a day for a while, and then all of a sudden I was like, my heart feels weird. And I also was drinking coffee on top of this, but
yeah, I think if you're doing one or the other, you might have been fine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't see it as actually energy drinks. I was just like, I love the taste of this, so I was just drinking it like a regular drink, and that was.
No, I know what you mean because I used to drink them too.
Yeah,
but I'd only pick them up when they're on sale.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny we're going through Red Bull stories. I just went through one with Kayla. For my program in school, we had to shoot a live studio show.
Okay.
And it pretty much there was every single position on a studio show, including the host and the guest, and you would rotate through them. So every person has to host their own show, but also every person has to be a guest. And the day that I was the guest was the same day that I first had a date with Kayla. Like first ever after a full year of like kind of talking, but also I always say something I can't say. I'm a little shy boy. Let's just say that. So she finally asked me out, and it was that day. And I think it was just because I was nervous about the date. I was nervous about being a guest, and I was just hanging out with a bunch of different people that I didn't realize that I had bought and drank 4 Red Bulls. That was a lot to me because I strictly try and get off of this stuff whenever I even have like a sip of it. I bought 4, and they all kind of kicked in when I went live on air. And I was already kind of known as like in the wrong type of crowd in college. So they didn't realize all we really did was just smoke pot, but I'm pretty sure some of the like, I don't know, prissy ones thought we did a lot more, but I looked like I did a lot more than pot that day, and it was broadcasting throughout the whole school. Yeah. And it was just like with one of the quietest girls who was really nervous to host, and it was just me hopping in there, and she was like, so have you ever heard of this? I go, no, I have not. Awesome. I love that idea. And yeah, I just way too high of energy, and I only realized afterwards. And also I crashed almost immediately as our date happened.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I was trying my hardest to like not just fall asleep while watching this movie at my place. And also actually kind of a funny story attached to that. I know you never experienced it, but I used to, and it's legal now, so I can say this. I used to smoke a ton of pot back in the day.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And also smoked Tobe with it too. That was the first time in I think 5 years that I had gone more than like 2 hours without smoking, because I didn't want Kayla to think I was like a degenerate or anything like that.
You want to make a good impression.
Exactly. So we were going up to go to bed, and I finally said, I'm like, hey, is it would you be upset if I just smoked one? And she goes, a cigarette? I go, no, like I'm just gonna go smoke a bong. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I don't care if you do that or not. I'm like, sick. So I smoked a big old bowl, and I had not been really actually high in a long time, and I just found out in that moment because I made it from my back room, you know, the layout of my house. I made it from my
Yeah.
back room. I started walking up the stairs and I was following her. Thank God she wasn't behind me because I almost fell backwards off of my stairs because
Oof.
it all rushed into my head at once. And I actually had to do like the spinning windmill arms to catch myself. And
Was she looking the other way? Did she catch you?
no, not at all. She was walking up, and I got so anxious level high and so unbelievably unbalanced trying to get up these stairs. And I'm so glad she was just focused on like, okay, where's his bedroom? And she's like, oh, okay, it's right ahead. And I did the thing as a kid where you're walking up on all fours. I still haven't told her
Okay.
about this to this day. I just,
Well, if she decides to listen for once, or if she
yeah,
does actively.
yeah. I was walking up all fours trying, and as soon as she turned around, I like pushed with my arms to get myself upwards. So I'm like, yeah, it's just in there. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like something you'd do too.
Oh man, I was like a dead husk, tired, but also just stoned out of my mind. I'm like, all right, hey, but yeah, yeah. God, can't believe I have not thought of that story in a long ass time.
All
But
right,
yeah,
mark that timestamp.
yeah. Wow. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. That's that's the Red Bull story. Um.
I don't
But
really have anything other than the way of just like shaking and jittering while just like trying to well. Really?
that's really funny. Actually, your lines are just awful, but you're doing them so quick.
No, it's
You
not even that. It's just like the idea of that premise is funny, but it's more or less just like, okay, I did my weld. It's like, okay, what next? Like it was just I was so scatterbrained on 4 Red Bull with the ADD. It was not funny. Like it is,
You're
but
just
it was
welding
like,
yourself like a chair. You just it's like I wonder, can I weld paper together? And you're just, oh God, no, I cannot.
oh.
Just you're trying
You
to
know
weld
what
things
though?
together.
Some of the guys at the shop think it can weld paper. There's some thin stuff that they're trying to get me to weld that I'm just like, can't you just rivet it?
God, that's funny.
Oh,
But yeah, you like once you actually drink it. I know there's probably like kids listening to this that like drink 7 monsters a day or something like that, and they're like, "What are you guys talking about?" But if you don't actually actively drink it, it it feels like a drug.
yeah.
It
Well, it is. It's
feels
chemical.
yeah, it feels like you're really, really not supposed to have this in your body. And it feels like you're doing something wrong. I don't know. For me, anyways.
It's just
Um,
like drink a can of Red Bull. This is what it's like to have motivation. 3 more cans of Red Bull. This is what it's like to have crippling anxiety while having motivation.
yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's funny. That's how this whole conversation starts. Where it's like it doesn't take away anything; it just keeps adding more things on top. Yeah, it's like
And
your
then when
ship
you're
still
burnt
sink.
out, and then you chuck a second one, it's like you're not as energetic as the first one because you're burning out the motor. You're just kind of like, all right, we're operating at a reasonable
Yeah,
level right now.
yeah, like the motor's burnt out, but you're going downhill, so you're kind of still moving. Like,
Yeah. And then on the third one, it's like, okay, the belt's wearing out there. The cracks in the belt are going. You drink your fourth one, and you're just puttering on fumes.
yeah, it's just like putting like 6 octane boosters in your old Camry. It's like, oh God. But yeah, that's funny. A 15-minute bit on Red Bull. Did not know we were gonna go there today. But
I had something to add. That's all.
But yeah. So how's your week?
Nothing too much of note, but I did go to a concert last night.
Yes. Who were they again? I'm so sorry.
Okay, so there's 3 bands. There is Chasing Shadow,
Yeah.
Taking Balfour,
Okay.
and Jupiter Hollow.
Okay. I think a customer is going there then. Customer talked about a concert. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. And no, what the nice is it was like $15 a ticket.
Yeah.
For 3 bands at the Overtime Bar downtown Kingston.
Yeah.
Which is my first time actually going in there. I've driven past it I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there'd be a big open space there. It was surprisingly big because it's not that it's wide, it's long.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I'm in the same boat as you.
They got a mini pool hall next to the bathrooms, and then they have like a whole like dining area, and then like a little section in the front for people that want to mosh or dance, and then the bar next to the dining area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I've driven past it tons of times. I just never went in.
They also have a salsa night. I'm like, I've never danced salsa, but I'm like, I'm kind of tempted. I'd make a fool of myself, but it'd be a time. You want to dance with me, Adam?
I honestly, this is no joke. I do want to learn some sort of dance for the weddings. I wouldn't mind.
How about, do you want to go take some salsa classes with me, and you can surprise the missus, and I can surprise mine? And then when they don't do the steps right, we'll just dance with each other at the wedding.
That's what I mean, though. Like, one person is gonna have to practice as the female, though. That's
we'll switch.
Yeah.
I can twist my hips. I got told in high school my hips don't lie.
Problem is, it's like when it comes to you lifting me up, I God bless you.
There is no lifting happening. There is spinning, twirls, and hip sways. I am too old for this, and you're too old for this.
You'll get like a quarter spin, and I think we're both going down. You just lift up your shirt, and they see the 20 icy hots on your back.
Just duct tape.
Yeah, it's just like we prepared for this.
No, it'd be on my knees and behind the knees. You just hear like the sound of like jello smushing as I'm taking each step.
Just the orthotics are just like oozing out of your shoes.
Yeah, all the knee braces, elbow braces, wrist braces, back brace, neck brace.
Just screws.
All the copper lining ones, like the ones you get from Shoppers.
Just screws are falling off. You hear
I look like a 4-year-old with a protective parents learning how to skate. But as an adult.
Oh God. But yeah, no, I do actually want to take dancing lessons at some point.
Yeah.
Just because I have zero rhythm.
I had a cousin that did ballroom, and she taught me a lot when I was little, but I was little.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking ages from like 8 to 12 that I could do some minor ballroom.
That'd be cool. At least it's
I haven't danced like that in so long.
Yeah, I kind of just do the white guy shuffle at this point.
Yeah. I feel like you do the drop it while it's hot.
Oh, God, yeah.
With a White Claw in one hand.
Yeah. I do remember one time when I was underage to drink, I did drink a full bottle of that cat wine, and I just went loose with this one girl, and we snuck into this dance, and I remember apparently I was dancing really well. I haven't been able to since. But then it only lasted, I think, 3 minutes, and then I projectile vomited onto the whole dance floor. So, yeah, that was the last time I remember actually fully going out and dancing. Besides doing the white guy shuffle or just grinding. Just having but grinding my partner, not her grinding me. But yeah. God damn,
were you twerking?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to catch on. Yeah. No, I back it up like it's hot. But
I mean, that's kind of like me in the clubs in the early 20s. They're for me. I could drop lower than any woman in the club. Do like
yeah,
the whole drop and then get back up as part of the
no, yeah.
dance.
It's
Oh
like
man, I got lower. Like there was like it was just before COVID, and we went with a couple people a couple that I worked with,
yeah.
and it's like I can go lower than that. His partner's like, no, you can't. And then we waited for the bass drop. We did it. I got lower and back up, and she's just looking at me, jaw dropped, dumbfounded, and I'm in cowboy boots and jeans and plaid, and she's in the the typical
short shorts, yeah.
for the club.
God, it's funny. Do you ever go downtown Kingston anymore for the clubs? Like not go in, but do you go by?
I haven't really had a reason to, and ironically, I work just blocks away.
Actually, yeah. Saturday night going by there is hilarious. Cause my dad took us to the only time it was free was like on Saturday, and it was getting close to like 10 p.m. And we went down to the Merchant Tap House, which was just stupid. But you know how many girls are crying at front of those clubs? You could honestly collect them like Pokemon. It's insane. No, it's so crazy. I've never really been a big club guy myself, but I just don't understand how like you could tell these girls spent like 2 hours getting ready. And like they're all crying and they're all saying this guy's a this and this guy's a that. And yeah, it's hilarious to watch. I don't understand it. Also, there was a guy sitting on the ledge at Pizza smoking a joint, and they said, I don't feel so well. And then we walk by and you hear him projectile vomit, but that's also just its own beast in itself. I don't know. Maybe
we got Burger King and Pizza Hut right there, or Pizza, and it's just like, no, mind you, I have popped into like after like drinking a lot. Okay, I need to get something greasy in me. Grab a slice. Yeah,
huge believer of that. Yeah. No, that's the smartest thing you can do for yourself. I don't know why they wouldn't do Bubba's Pizza, but anyways. Yeah, it's like I
don't think it's open that late.
I thought oh damn, that sucks if it isn't, because yeah, their poutine there. Bubba's Kingston people, go. Yeah, I don't know if I'm aging myself, but that just sounds like an awful, awful time to me.
Well, I am significantly older than when I used to go hit the clubs. Like, we're talking like pre-pandemic. Which was like 3 years ago. Is like when we were on the cusp of the pandemic.
Yeah, right at the start.
So yeah, a lot of the remaining clubbing years was kind of taken from me in a bittersweet way. Now it's going to live music shows.
Yeah, which is funny, right? It's like a big event now. No, we have to pay tickets and we sit down. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to be old.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Right. But
back to the band.
Oh right, yeah. So it was a good show though?
Oh yeah. So first band, which was Chasing Shadows.
Yeah.
Which I'll let you know this now. The first and last band are twin brother lead singers.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we're watching the one guy. He comes out and he's in like these like red tiger stripe pajama bottoms, and that's it. And he's trying to dance like a snake charmer to some metal music, and doing some minor contortionist stuff.
Yeah.
And Joey just kind of twisting her head, like, oh, it's like not caring for it too much, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's just the average creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my head.
No, unfortunately, you're way too right. Yeah. God, it's always the ones that shouldn't be comfortable that are the most comfortable, But yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like he wasn't overweight like I am. He was a skinny twig and had like some definition, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
so some groupie might find interest in that.
Yeah. You ever just look at someone though and know they smell awful? That's usually most creatives. But anyways, yeah, so he did that.
Said the creative. I'm kidding.
Oh no, I know. That's what I mean. Like, I'm surrounded by them, so I can say whatever I want, and I am one. So yeah, it's like no, they're they're some of the worst people.
I'll beat you that. Apparently, Smash Bro tournament people are the worst smelling.
Fair. I've
never been, but I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard very similar. That
they don't know how to bathe at all.
Yeah. And then COD tournament guys usually like are way too axed up. Like just way too much. Yeah.
I hadn't heard that one, but I believe it.
Yeah. Because they wear all that dry fit stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like they don't sweat, but they wear like a lot of it. Yeah.
All right. So first band, kind of like a snake charmer motif to it.
Fun.
And I guess one of the guys that helped out the first and last band passed away, helped them get their start.
Aw, okay.
So there's a little bit of tribute to that. And music overall, some songs are a hit, some songs are a miss.
Yeah.
Just how it goes. Then taking Balfour, who we got there a little bit early and got to hear them set up their sound equipment and stuff like that. And this one guy when he was doing this one riff, and I'm like, oh, I like that. So I was just waiting for that song the whole time.
Well, that's sweet though.
And I got to hear like them do a test and do a couple of rehearsals of their new song that's not recorded yet. Make sure it sounded good.
Yeah.
And eventually, before the show even started, I bought like a hoodie. I'm actually wearing it right now. It's got a sick design on the back.
That picture you sent me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a hoodie. It's funny. If you look at it, you're like, what the hell is that? And then you finally see the woman's face. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. No, I like that a lot.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. And so I bought a hoodie because that's how you support bands that are starting up. Like, I got talking to them after the show, and that they'd only been performing since 2021.
Really?
Yep. But they had a phenomenal stage presence. They had a whole like get up at the start where they had their backs turned except for the drummer. And they did this kind of like reveal, and they did like one of those sound bites where like it's a woman talking over an intercom kind of thing. It's like kind of like welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Kind of like cyberpunk dystopia kind of level of like kind of theming.
Yeah.
And then they played, and it was good. And it's kind of funny because I got the ad for Jupiter Hollow, and our favorite band ended up not being the band we got the ad from.
That's kind of cool, though. I like that they impressed you.
Oh, yeah. And cool. it reminded me of like an early Godsmack in the way that they like the energy. Because early Godsmack had this, not quite edgy, but I mean, they were kind of, but it's not exactly the vibe that they're giving off fully. It was like, no, we're a metal group, and they're jumping around, they're getting into it. The guitarist is doing the power pose. The bassist has long hair. The guy on the piano has long hair, and they're both just thrashing and headbanging. And the bassist is like, duetting with the drummer and moving around, and like both the piano and the guitarist guy both provided backup vocals and everything else like that. And it was I
always love that.
And they had and the guitarist was doing all the screamo bits from what I could gather.
Yeah.
And they had a really strong stage presence, and unfortunately the turnout for the event as a whole was kind of subpar.
Yeah, I've heard that about the overtime shows. Because the old roommate actually performed there a few times.
Yeah. But they're like they even tried to get like a pit going in the front, but there's just either too many old or too many people that just like, I'm here to drink. I'm already sitting.
Yeah, I kind of
But
love that.
I tried to convince Julia to come up and whatnot, but yeah, no, she was shy,
Yeah.
and she was and
Aw, she'd be such a cute.
the guys are great because like she liked the design on the sweater, so I went up with her to get her a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And for her to pick it out, and she was so shy.
Aw.
But the guys were really great about it.
Yeah.
And eventually, after all bands perform their sets, I'm gonna touch back on Jupiter Hollow.
Yeah.
So the first twin brother was the Snake Charmer. The second brother, well, he pretty much put on a metal burlesque show.
Nice.
By the last 3 songs, he was in just his underwear.
Nice.
And Julia's just looking at him perturbed. But I'm just and I just lean over and I just say to her, it's like, well, Red Hot Chili Peppers performed in nothing but socks. This is nothing.
Yeah.
It's just one of them. And the guitarist slaps the singer's butt. I want to say the cuss word, but I'm trying real hard to be good for radio.
Yeah, I love that.
And he actually got the singer the yelp. And there's one guy that's like, show us your dick. From the bar, yelling it once he was down in the underwear. And the singer just played off. He's like, no, there's nothing down there. Or I'm a mannequin.
There you go. Having fun with it. Also, I can't get this image out of my mind of Julia just being like a super hardcore screamo masher. Just like the most quiet little like just reserved person, just like shuffling up to the middle and then just like taking the ponytail out of, or taking the hair elastic out of her hair and just going nuts headbanger style. I don't know.
Maybe a few more live shows and she might get the confidence for that.
Right? Just screaming.
She gets like that in the truck sometimes though. On the drives, if there's something going on, she's just like, yeah.
That'd be so freaking funny and so cute. Oh my god. Just like shaking you by your shoulders, just pushing you out of the way, just let's go. Yeah. All right. So but okay, so yeah, I got the burlesque show. Got
and
that.
They're playing into like the Jupiter theme. They did every song started off with like some sort of like synth.
Okay.
Like with like mix of like a DJ turntable thing, and the guy was just vibing so hard with it at the start of every song.
That's pretty sick.
A couple ones were ear hurting, but most of them were okay.
Yeah, he needs to balance it better, but yeah. Oh, that's kind of sick. I know, I'm always into that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, taking Balfour was just kind of like, okay, yeah, these guys deserve more. Like, you know, they have the stage presence, they have the music, they have the bangers, they got the songs. They just need to get themselves out there. And so I ended up talking to them at the end of at the very end of the show, and all 3 bands had performed, and they're kind of. I waited for them to be able to wind down. They got their gear put away. I didn't want to get in their way when I tried talking to them.
Yeah.
Because I did volunteer at 91.9 The Cave for a long extended period of time with the student radio station.
Yeah.
Back in high school, and I still got the old contacts from there. And then we're airing this out of the Amherst radio. So I told them, it's like, I'll email you guys off your website. Since I saw that they had their contact information there, it's like, give me a bit more notice, and we'll see what I can do to run some promotions for you, and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So we exchanged some info right then and there. I was expecting just emailing them, but he took my information right then and there, and
that's pretty nice.
I was pretty happy about it. And the guys were very sweet, and they understood like Julia's like shyness, and they were all very warm and welcoming for her.
Aww.
And it was really like great, wholesome. Definitely made her want to go to like another one.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so I was happy that, you know, one of these turned out well.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, God, for like a meal and a $15 ticket, like you can't really complain. That's a pretty sick.
It wasn't exactly a meal. We had our meal at Montana's.
Yeah.
And because they don't really serve food at overtime.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know. they didn't at this event. So, but I did have a few drinks. I had one rum and Coke, and then I saw her pour the white rum in, and I'm like, oh no. I don't like Bacardi, and I don't like white rum.
Yeah.
But I drank that down, and I was just kind of like, just had that displeased look on my face. And then they actually had their cocktail menu out by the time I went up there halfway through the show. And I looked at it. They had this one called, I'm going to make sure I pronounce it correctly, Peach Beach. Make sure I'm not... Beach? Yeah, make sure I'm not, stuttering and making that sound like something else. And it's banana liqueur with peach vodka and Sprite. Nice. And it wasn't, and I liked it. It was pretty good. And then I tried their Skittles shot. It did not taste like Skittles.
Yeah. Sorry. Speaking of cocktails, how did you like those canned Moscow mules?
Oh, canned Moscow mules. I bought one of the one you said Killa liked, and I bought one of the one you said don't try.
Yeah.
And I drank the one that Killa liked. I haven't drank the one that you guys suggested not to yet.
Yeah. See, everyone's different with that ginger beer and stuff. Yeah, I like a really nippy one, but yeah. All right, just double checking. So the Skittles shot did not taste like Skittles.
No, it did not. It kind of had like an orange kind of tinge to it. Yeah. And they didn't mix the shot right there. It was pre-mixed in a bottle that had tape on it that said Skittles.
Oh, that is a real red flag to me. That would just be like, oh, okay, no, thank you.
And it's just like, it didn't taste bad, but you could feel it. And mind you, it was all vodka, so it's just like, I felt burn all the way down. I didn't make a single face, and Julia's just looking at me because I just did a shot and then took a swig of the peach beach. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that peach beach isn't too bad. That Skittle shot, I would not go for that again.
Yeah, well, oh my god, yeah, that's like this.
So I wouldn't want to do shots there, but their actual cocktails are not too bad.
Yeah. If you're ever in Toronto, man, you gotta go to that D&D bar. Those shots are sick.
I really want to. I am planning a Ripley's trip at some point. I don't know when.
Yeah.
The idea was for March this year, and then things with the job didn't line up.
Yeah. Stormcrow Manor, man. Yeah. But yeah.
That kind of finishes up on there. But pretty much, if you want to take away something from that, check out Taking Balfour. That's Taking and then BALF, and I'm gonna butcher this, so I'm gonna look at my sweater here. No, it's still really like the number 4. I just second guessed myself. So yeah, BALFOUR. They haven't released it yet, but honestly, my favorite song from them was the new one they performed, The Illusions. It's a banger for sure.
Sweet.
It's definitely, you can tell like their first year was them, like the first year music. It's like, it was good music. They're finding themselves. They're rocking to it. They like what they've done already, but like they're only getting better from here.
Yeah.
And so it's like any music going forward, like it's like they got their first album out. It's decent. And then, but you could tell it's like, yeah, with their new songs that they're performing that they haven't recorded yet, yeah, it's only getting better from here.
Sweet. It's always nice when they enjoy their own music, right?
Oh yeah.
I know when they're vibing themselves, that always translates so well on stage.
Well, sometimes, because that burlesque guy started rubbing the microphone all over his body, and that from Jupiter Hollow, and like the guitar and drums. Mint. I it's one of those things like he's got some good ones, and there's some songs I'm like, I might just listen to the instrumental. But overall, like, it was a great experience for her and myself, because I don't really like, I think the only live show I've ever gone to before that was the Glorious Sons.
Okay.
And so going to something a bit more, actually that's not true. I went to this was years ago. I went on a date at the Manor and saw some bands there.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. It's all right. smells awful. But yeah.
Yeah, you notice that too? But yeah, it was overall a good time, and it's just one of those things. It's just like it's been a while since I got in touch with like the music side of things, and it's kind of like because well, I played a lot of instruments years ago. Like I was like trumpet, piano, guitar. I was starting to dabble with violin, and then with work and everything, just kind of lost the motivation to touch it. So it's kind of just like it's nice to just go see some live music and kind of get in touch with I don't know that element again.
Yeah, it kind of surprises me. You said you haven't been to many because I always kind of knew you were into music a bit. I didn't know how much, but I always remember the guitar.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I have a knack. Like, there's this. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation because I don't think I've actually heard it being pronounced, but Aniko, Niko, and her Jericho songs blowing up. Meanwhile, like I remember when she first started her YouTube account and was posting stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. Don't pay it any mind. Now it's like half of my YouTube shorts. It's blown up.
That's sweet.
And it's just like I have had a knack for like just like producers hire me. I will find the popular music before it's popular. Like I was on a shanty kick 2 years before the shanty had a blow up again. I was listening to like the Dreadnoughts. I was like Pirates or Assassin's Creed Black Flag 4. Pretty much all the voices from that. I was already listening to them before that game came out. But yeah. No, it's good going to see the music again. And other than that, on gaming side of things, we dabbled with that Total Accurate Battle Simulator the other night. I think that was really the only gaming I did for the week.
Yeah, oh no, I played that. Fun.
I played Need for Speed Unbound a bit.
Yeah,
that's fun. It's not as like it's not trying to be Forza or anything by that stretch of the means, but it's definitely got its own kind of style to it. It's got its art style is kind of like the cars are realistic, the city's kind of realistic, but the characters are anime-ish.
Yeah.
But all the special effects, like your drift smoke and everything else like that, it's all graffiti art style, which is really cool. I really like that.
I love that. Kind of speaking of art style and racing, have you seen anything on the 2K Lego game?
I have not.
Oh yeah, see that's one I'm kind of interested in seeing more about. It's 2K racing but with Lego. And your whole thing is to actually smash into obstacles to get Lego bricks to build your car more as you're going, as well as you switch, like you kind of, you've seen the Lego movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how the master builders kind of build on the go and all that? Yeah. So like when you're a car and you're jumping off into the water, you do that master build thing to build into your boat. And you go there. Off-road and all that sort of stuff. So it looks like they put a lot of detail into it and everything's Lego as it usually is. So yeah, that's kind of just reminded me of that with different art styles and driving and all that. And I'm kind of excited to look at it. Don't know if I'll pick it up, but I'm definitely going to watch gameplay.
Well, it's already out.
Yeah.
It came out May 16th. It might be on the... You could see if it's on the Game Pass since it's out on Xbox.
Yeah, it might be.
Microsoft Windows.
No. But yeah, it looks really good. Just, yeah, every time I pick up a racing game, I always bore Kayla to death with it. And also, I always, like, eventually I just kind of get there where I'm like, I need something to shoot. I need to shoot guns.
Yeah, I'm feeling that vibe right now.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, hey, you want to download Warzone the other day?
Yeah, it's funny. I think you feel the same thing I do. Where like, I played that Ghost of Tsushima game for like a really long time, and I was like playing with swords and stuff, and I was like, I need something that actually has guns in it, like something where it's like feels more modern, because it's just like having to run all this way is just kind of really killing the vibe for me right now. So yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, I go back and forth between wanting something very melee and very in your face to wanting something that is just purely shooting guns and just
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a couple
hey,
games where are kind of all three of those things.
there are. Yeah.
Oh, have you seen that game Pioneer? I think I brought it up once before on the show.
I want to say no.
All right.
As soon as I
Are
Google
you
it,
are you
though.
familiar with like the stalker lights?
Yeah.
So it's kind of feeling like that. It's done in the Unreal 5 engine. And so you got all these anomalies you're going through. You got the monsters. There's going to be world PvP and then PvP arenas and stuff like that, dungeons and everything else. That's kind of like an MMO light in a sense.
Yeah.
But the gun customization is really cool. Like I think like you're able to kind of choose like your sights, customize your guns a fair bit by the looks of it. And just get real wacky with it.
Yeah.
Not like Fallout wacky, but like post-apocalyptic guns wacky.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that now. Oh, that's pretty cool. The graphics are pretty nice for any of our listeners there.
Yeah. But it's kind of like it's definitely got like the stock. It's improved upon Stalker.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that the enemy AI is somewhat decent.
Yeah, that makes and breaks it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big thing, and then just the gunplay on the PvP side. That's gonna. There's the two kind of make and breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess the only other game that I'm kind of hopeful for is Payday 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's gonna be sweet. No doubt about that.
Which I'll probably eventually buy it on Steam because it's gonna have cross progress and cross play. But I think for the first little while it's in its early stages, it might just be a play it off the Game Pass.
Yeah, do you think that's gonna be could you bring your progress?
Yeah, it's supposed to have cross progression. So if you wanted to play it, if you had it on your PlayStation and then you have it on your PC, you're supposed to be able to carry it over.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, now I'm remembering how hard that hit me last time because I wish more games did that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like the only other one that does that right now is Destiny 2.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware. But even then they're kind of they're apparently their player base is not liking what they're doing. They're changing some stuff up again, and Bungie has that where they'll do something that ruins their track record with their fan base and then make amends for it and put in a lot of good faith, and then everyone will be okay with it again.
Yeah. And then I don't know, it feels like every year and a half they just have to do something that upsets their player base.
Yeah.
It's almost like a ticking clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, bad news. I mean, bad attention is still attention.
Oh yeah. No, I fully believe that. No matter what, your game's still getting eyes on it, right?
Yeah. So when it's like, hey, they made it better. Oh, maybe I'll give it a shot now. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm how full I'm gonna go with it, but I looked at another Red M server, made a character on it.
Sweet. I can't wait to make a new intro sound for you. Yeah, just and in Red Dead news.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, because it's like it's weird having a character that had so much, like, I don't know, in a sense, rich history, and then there's some people from that server who are carrying some of their history over into that server, because it's made by people that aren't happy with the server I was on.
Oh, okay. So,
and it's been around for a while. Me and the people I played with originally didn't transition over there, but a lot of people after the first wipe on the New Year's transitioned over there.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember it was a big deal for the wipe.
Yeah, so I ended up, I customized the character on there, and I haven't walked around or talked to anyone yet. I don't know how different this server is going to be because it's all custom modded scripts, right? It might not even have the same kind of crafting or inventory system. The character creation was completely different.
Yeah, that's exciting though.
Yeah. So it's just walk around, talk like this, and if someone's like, "Do I know you?" Oh, yeah, I do. You remember Cougar Ranch?
Jay.
It's like, yeah, I think I did.
That's pretty sweet.
But yeah. Oh, when I was writing because it was whitelisted server, right?
Yeah.
So if someone trolls or cheats or hacks or whatever, they're getting out. They're not getting back in.
Yeah.
And so I got in, and they always want like a backstory. And
yeah,
so
makes sense.
I wrote pretty much Oliver Grimm's novel of the ranch, and I was just like, I was almost heartbreaking writing it. Just really like, oh, all those times are gone.
Oh god. Oh my god. I kind of love it.
But yeah, I don't know. That's been my week episode.
That's hilarious to think though. You're just like, babe, what's wrong? Ah, you wouldn't get it. But no, yeah, if you devote that much time to something, you're bound to get emotional about it.
Well, it's like I was on that server, like it would have been a year in August.
Yeah.
Just sticking around, hanging with these people and talking and creating all these stories, and then like Cougar Ranch is no more because when I tried to do the hand down, the staff just kind of yoinked it.
Really?
Yeah, and
oh wait, yeah.
So, and then the guys applied to get it back and I pretty much came in and said goodbye to everybody and emptied my bank account into the guy that was going to put in the application.
Nice.
And
it didn't go to waste.
Yeah. So they got denied for it. I'm like, oof.
That's brutal.
So it's like that ranch is no more at all.
Yeah. That sucks.
But hey, that's the way things are. And it's funny to have like, it's like having a D&D campaign where it's like, yeah, it's all these adventures and only like these 6 people will remember, but it was some darn good times.
Yeah, and it feels like a whole world.
Yeah.
Is made. It's like, how do you not know about Orin? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, huh.
How do you not know about my asshole paladin that can't match?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Which, oh my god, so I'm in a new campaign on Wednesdays. I think I talked to you about this. God, would he be useful right now?
Yeah.
No I built someone completely on the other end of the scale, someone who's not a talker, someone who's just pretty much utility, and I am now finding myself doing some talking, and it's just like, oh, this is why we put points in charisma.
Yeah. Yeah, for how much my character talks, I can't believe I put 0 points in charisma.
Mine has a -1.
Oof.
And you know how much I talk.
Yeah.
But the whole joke was going to be like, okay, it's going to be this like guy with an Irish accent, and he's a little rough around the edges. He is a talker, but he's not a good talker, so -1 charisma. And I'm like, oh, that is hurting the game so much.
It's funny too, because it's almost like when you first try out a game where you can't really switch your characteristics, like you're starting, and then you play for a little bit, and then you realize how badly you messed up. So then it's like, with my first D&D, I just kind of winged it. Now I'm like, okay, if I were to restart with a character, I would definitely do this, this, and this, and this, and actually make a build rather than just being like, he's going to be smart, but he's not going to talk well, but he's also not going to be able to do this. It's like, okay, that's like 50% of your gameplay is going to be awful then. But yeah, I don't know. I found that like when the first time I played Fallout 4, you're kind of just like, I'll just put it in this and I want to be okay. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of On the Rewind. You can catch us at Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM, or you can always catch us on Spotify or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. We are always there every other week around Thursday.
Welcome back to On the Rewind.
Okay, and welcome back to On the Rewind. You are listening to our extended edition. We extend our editions after our radio broadcast on Amherst Island 101.3 FM, and we are back on Spotify or anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Super strong. It's like, okay, so no guns for you. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, you're built to swing things. It's like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense with how I have not been able to hit a single thing. Like, even though I have thousands of bullets, it's like the only thing that really works is this tire iron that I've been carrying. But yeah, I don't know. I always find myself doing that with certain weapons and certain games and all that. And I always just kind of find it funny.
Yeah. One game I do want you to, I don't know, it's hard to ask you to play it because it's not going to be on the Game Pass, and it's like, you know, it's going to be retail high price.
Okay.
But Baldur's Gate 3, I think we'd have a lot of fun.
I know Baldur's Gate's D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I know things.
Yeah, so it's the upcoming role-playing game that's published by Larian Studios.
Okay.
It's the third main game in the Baldur's Gate series, but this game alone, the hours that they're quoting to beat it is the equivalent to the Mass Effect trilogy.
Okay.
So it's very, expanded story. This is the game you're meant to spend some time in. It's got most of the races. It's even got the Dragonborn and the features that come with being different colored Dragonborn in it.
Oh, sick.
It doesn't have all of the subclasses, but it does have a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get your Hexblade Warlock, but you know what? That's what modders are for. But they have things like Pact of the Blade. I couldn't one-to-one replicate Orin, but I could do something similar.
Okay.
There's no guns, but you could still probably replicate your your monk with the hand crossbow.
Okay, well, hey, that's something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like, D&D campaign, but in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's based off the 5th edition, too, the system that we've played off of.
Okay.
It's got a PC release of like August 3rd, and then I think at the end of August it's coming on PS5. and then eventually it'll come to Xbox. They're just having an issue getting it optimized on there. So they're gonna release PC first.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
But yeah. So there's one interesting thing I saw is that people are the 6 subclasses that they're most surprised by. So I'm just going to touch on these a little bit.
Okay.
So the College of Swords for Bard kind of turns your Bard that's supposed to be just more utility and changes a lot of their things they'd give bonuses to their teammates into bonuses for themselves in a melee combat. Kind of like a swashbuckler.
I kind of love that because that's always been the problem with bards.
Yeah. They are bringing in the Circle of Spores for Druid, and so that's your toxic. I'm a poison you with every little hit. Raise zombies, and other stuff. Like, it's like I am the side of death of the Druids. They're bringing in Shadow Monk subclass.
What's that?
Pretty much like a ninja theme. Hitting enemies from the shadow. You're turning your monk into a rogue.
That's so funny to think
in hit and run tactics, and they have ability for shadow step. They can teleport that anywhere that has dim light or darkness.
That's cool.
So if you're out in the bright sun, and they're bringing in like a lot of like shadow and like dim light area subclasses because they're bringing the Gloomstalker Ranger, which is essentially that but a ranger. They get bonus movement speed and extra attack and bonus on their damage on the first turn of their combat.
Okay.
And pretty much exploiting out stealth for a crazy powerful ambush.
Oh.
And they also gain advantage when in the shadows. And one thing that's really cool, so there is a subclass of a paladin that you can get, and traditionally you don't make your character this, but you can become it, and that's the Oathbreaker Paladin. So paladins are bound by their oath. Like my character Orin, he's a conquest paladin. So as long as when I beat somebody, it's not about just merely beating them. I want to make them fearful of me. That's why I pull out the big whammies. Just like, yeah, I'll smite your ass.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
No clue about that.
Yeah, it's the reason why. It's like when we came up in that pirate bay and I feared my way in. It's because that's kind of what my oath tells me to do.
It's not my fault we almost died. It's my oath.
It kind of, because like Scott's not afraid to take away my powers.
Yeah.
So I gotta play up the conquest side of Conquest Paladin.
That's hilarious.
But they have Oathbreaker. So essentially is they actually have in the game where if you break your oath, like let's say you harm an innocent,
yeah,
you'll be given a quest later on to redeem yourself, or you can take the path of an Oathbreaker. And so now you're former paladin, full on villain.
Okay, I kind of like that.
Yeah,
kind of gives you a little more depth.
And this is a very odd choice, but it could be like fun for just like a goof playthrough. Wild Magic Barbarian. So instead of raging, you have a Wild Surge, starting at level 3 whenever you enter a rage.
Yeah.
And you roll a d8 to see what spell gets casted.
That's kind of cool. That'd be kind of fun.
It could be good, it could be bad.
Yeah.
There's the same thing with like the Wild Magic Sorcerer, but it's like a 20 die, and you can do everything from casting a fireball on you and your friends to, becoming invincible, turning everyone, including the enemies and yourself, into frogs. And not the tutu frogs, but the ribbit, jump.
I kind of like that
kind of thing.
Just like a Hulk, but you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can get one. I think one of the spells on the list there off of the regular D&D is like you start doing lightning damage with your attacks, and you can pull a Thor, like you can throw and have your hammer returned to you, kind of thing, or your weapon returned to you.
That's kind of sick.
And so you have a 1 in 8 chance to become Thor.
No, it sounds like a fun time though.
I think there's also one where you just shift planes of existence, so it's like, and then you're just not there. For a turn or two.
Yeah, I kind of love the just the idea of it's like he's kind of useful, like 1/8 of the time he's really fun.
Yeah. But another 1/8, he just kind of goes poof.
Yeah, he's just gone. He doesn't help.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just kind of wanted to touch on some of those there. I thought you might enjoy that.
Oh, I know, that's sick.
So have you seen that Star Wars Outlaw?
Yeah. So like what? That's not the one that's like a oh god, I'm gonna get roast for this.
It's not the one with the actor from Shameless.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, that's not that.
Yeah, it's a different one.
Okay, what is it?
It's one that's being made by Ubisoft, and it's not like a Han Solo with Chewie behind it, but it's It's supposed to be Outlaw. It's supposed to be like, jumping through systems, seedy underworld dealings, accumulating to one big job. You're an
Oh,
intergalactic smuggler.
okay, that's kind of sick.
It's supposed to come out next year. Um, but it's gotten some flack, and I don't know why. I'm not going to touch on the flack that they've been given, but essentially it's a female Han Solo adventure.
Oh, okay.
But ideally, the gameplay is supposed to be third person piloting and shooting and stealth.
Yeah.
There's going to be puzzles and uncovering secrets. Your blaster is going to be what's you upgrade, and then your character's also going to have some ability and some other equipment you can upgrade. They're going to have vehicles you can use like speeders. It's going to be dogfights in space, and supposedly hyper jump travel. It's probably going to have. It says it's got multiple kind of choice to affect the timeline, but I think it's going to be kind of like a telltale, kind of like a diamond shape. You got two paths, and they both lead you to like the same endpoint. There's just a different climax.
Kind of like that. Oh, that's one of the parts why I like Cyberpunk so much.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Cyberpunk actually has 3 different endings, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that
it's not quite diamond shape. It kind of actually spreads out a bit, in my opinion.
No, that's fair. Yeah. Isn't there multiple variants on each one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I'm completely off. But yeah.
Now the favorite character from Star Wars Outlaws is Nyx, which is this new creature. They're saying is a rare critter from an unknown planet. It looks like I'm forgetting the name of the creature. The underwater fucking pink thing that everyone likes. Gwilla? No.
Oh, like in real life, underwater pink thing.
Yeah. What is that?
God, or is it it's not the water bear, right? No,
No.
that's a different thing. I know what you're talking about though. It has the smiling face and the 2 pink tendrils. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm just gonna look underwater pink lizard. Axolotl.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this thing, I'm gonna send it to you. It looks like a furry axolotl. And it's just kind of like, yeah, people would like that as a pet. It's very Star Warsy looking.
Oh yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I think is gonna sell the game. Is that critter right there? That's your companion. That has not existed in any other Star Wars material. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna make this cute little furry axolotl.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
But yeah. So that's kind of the touch on that one. We're still kind of at that point in the year where we don't have any additional more news on games that are coming out. It's just kind of the waiting for what games that are coming.
Oh yeah, we're all like high hopes and all that, and on the edge of our seats, but nothing's actually coming.
Yeah, I did read that next year, which we'll probably get on. We'll talk about it on a later date episode. That's going to be closer to that. But there's about 41 MMOs and MMO lights in development.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sweet, but yeah. Oh my God.
You'll have your choice of MMOs for a while.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's I've heard that we're getting another Call of Duty this year. I still haven't seen any trailers for it, and usually we get one in the summer, like a teaser.
Yeah, they're
so I'm not
sure though.
Yeah, they're trying to do this whole merger thing, which kind of let's just touch back on that. So a judge in the States overruled one of the junctions from the UK, and so it looks like that's going to move forward. a bit. Some people are looking at like, well, there's still gonna have to be, some other things, but essentially what it's come down to is that the UK was the only ones holding out, and I think their idea was for everyone to hold out to try and make more of a stink and try and get more, like, hey, if you're gonna own a company this big, we want something out of it.
Yeah.
But a judge ruled they are making changes off off of the last requests from like all the bureaus. So it's looking like it's going to get pushed through. So I'm thinking we're going to get a lot of the old Call of Duties on Game Pass. I don't know how everything else is going to work. You mentioned before that you heard about the deal brokered to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that was never not going to happen, because the amount of money they would lose is not worth it.
True, but then there's always the fact of like, I don't know, they've not been with Xbox. PCs obviously a whole different thing. I don't know, it's like the more incentives they have to bring someone over to Xbox, the better. And like the whole problem with Xbox has always been exclusives. There's never anything like, I don't know, like
for me, like Sony's first parties are just better than Xbox's. Like if you look at Gears of War, yeah, that was a great one for the first 3, and then it kind of died after the third one. And they kept pumping out games, and eventually it died. Like, I don't know, Microsoft exclusives tend to die out a lot quicker than Sony's. Like, look at God of War.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a huge thing.
Yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima.
God of War is never not sold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. They have massive success when it comes to stuff like that. So it's just trying to get exclusivity is, I think if Sony pushed a little too hard, I think Microsoft would honestly really have thought of the idea of just not putting Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Well, that's the thing. Like Starfield, I think they're pulling that with Starfield right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think they're gonna do a time exclusive.
Okay.
Just from what last I heard on Starfield. So it'll come on Xbox first and PC. PC is kind of just like, yeah, we're in the middle. We don't really have a bid in this fight. They're gonna still release their games to us.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah. But yeah, because like the Call of Duty thing, like they tried to leverage Sony into making a deal before, and Sony was just straight up like, nah.
No.
And it wasn't until like, yeah, nothing's gonna change. We're just not gonna give you the maps early like we have been doing. And Sony agreed to that. It's like, so you're not getting what we've been giving you, but you're still gonna get everything Xbox has been getting.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's just a shift. And with like, there's some people that just play Call of Duty, nothing but Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And there's a good enough amount of those people that like they don't gotta worry.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that way. It's like people.
But at the same die, I don't know if you can kill something that big, but like we'll see, because a lot of studios that get purchased by Microsoft, they start hitting a decline.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, with the gamers union and stuff like that, like the unions for the game developers, we should start seeing those become more accepted under Microsoft, because Microsoft's already made statements along that they're like, yeah, we'll respect any unions that get formed under our company. Now, mind you, forming a union's really hard, because you got to be covert. You're in a hostile environment for the entire time you're trying to do that until it's all set in stone.
Yeah, then you can come out. It's kind of like the Amazon unions, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it'll have to see how it's gonna all shake out at the end. But at the end of the day, you might even see Diablo 4 on the Game Pass.
That'd be kind of cool.
And if you have a Game Pass, who knows? Are you gonna have to pay for a subscription for WoW, or are you just gonna have to pay for a subscription for Game Pass?
Okay, yeah. See, that's actually a really smart move. God, yeah. I don't play WoW myself, but I know. Yeah,
Neither do I.
Yeah,
But
I just know.
because
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14's been winning in that, because it's just it's straight up a better game, and a lot more people are more sentimental about Final Fantasy than Warcraft nowadays.
Yeah, actually, I watched a YouTube short today about a couple that broke up because of Final Fantasy. The girlfriend was just way too into it.
The girlfriend was.
Yeah, she had online boyfriends after being married for like 20 years. She had like online boyfriends that you can marry.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't know any of this. Like, yeah, she was having multiple affairs over these like 20 years they were together. And she tried stopping a few times, but then got super depressed and all that. But yeah, completely ruined this marriage.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And I don't know enough about Final Fantasy to really talk at all about it. But yeah, it was just crazy to me.
That doesn't speak on much of the Final Fantasy as it does the people.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I always thought it was a single player game, so that kind of threw that out the window.
It's kind of funny. So with Final Fantasy, you can play any one of the ones in the series, and it will not really pertain to the other ones.
That's cool.
But 11 and 14 are the multiplayer ones.
Oh, okay.
And 11 is the multiplayer one that kind of failed. And then 14 is the one that came out and did very well. It did end up failing, but then they redid it and released it again.
Yeah.
And the ending of the failed one is now the beginning of the new one.
Oh.
So it plays into like the end game content. Like it literally had like everyone like, so it plays in this massive cutscene that like you have everyone charging towards this big bad and they're losing, and so this wizard opens up a portal to like another timeline and everyone goes through, but everyone kind of, or he does like some time magic or something and sets everybody back to correct the course.
Okay. No, it sounds cool. I'm just, it's one of those games where I've always known about it. I just never really gave her much thought. It's kind of like Kingdom of Hearts for me. I always put those two
loved
together.
Kingdom of Hearts. Like I played the first one on PS2. I was like, oh yeah. And my folks were like, oh, he likes Kingdom of Hearts. Buys me the Game Boy game, and that was the worst game of Kingdom of Hearts.
Oh, isn't that the sweetest thing?
I'm like, and then it's just like, and then I remember at a cousin's, I played the second one on the PlayStation there, and that was good.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, from PS2, Kingdom Hearts 2, they had some side games that came out, but we didn't see a third one until like the PS4 generation. Also, that is a storyline that is very hard to follow, that you do need to watch a series of YouTube videos on to understand what's going on there.
Thank you. Okay. That feels like most of it. Whenever I'm looking at the trailers and stuff, I'm just like, this feels like Avengers. If you want your
Disney and Final Fantasy in an action game, yeah.
Guy, it looks interesting. It's just always, I'm like, I don't get how, but if you're into it, you're really into it, and if you're not, you don't really even know what I'm talking about.
For sure.
All right, it looks like we are hitting that magical 1 hour and 20-minute mark. Is there anything else we want to say before we wrap this episode up?
No, I think I've kind of touched on all I got, and unless there's something you want to say, because it's been pretty heavy on my week.
I like it. Sometimes I'm a little too heavy on my side, so it's always nice to get a little side of Derek here. All right, so this has been Amherst Island Radio's On the Rewind. Catch us on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, or Spotify, anywhere else you listen to podcasts. You know the deal.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.